welcome into the Alabama Football Report. I know it's been a while since we did a video, but NFL free agency kind of took our priorities away here at Chat Sports. But we're still going to keep giving you guys videos around the Alabama football Crimson Tide, especially with spring practice now here, despite it not really being open to the public. If you want more Alabama football videos, make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/@RollTideTV. We begin with some bad news. As I'm sure most of you have heard by now, Tony Mitchell suspended by the Alabama football program after he and a passenger in his vehicle, Christopher Lewis, were arrested. I'm sure you've heard the news here. Charged with, let's make sure I get the exact wording here, marijuana possession with the intent to sell and or deliver charge. That came on March 15th. The police report on it was reported by Alabama.com, or AL.com, I should say. Earlier today. It includes the allegedly, I'll emphasize that part, we let the due process play out, of course, just under 8 ounces of marijuana, 226 grams to be exact, $7,000 in cash, and was clocked going as he accelerated to pull away after the pursuit. They clocked him going 78 and a 55, got up to, again, allegedly, 141 miles per hour before they eventually found him a few minutes later. Mitchell had said that his passenger said punch it, so he did. Not good for Tony Mitchell. The police report makes it look a little bit worse than what had maybe been initially reported. A troubling concern for the very touted defensive back prospect, a 4-star recruit this year. He had enrolled early at Alabama, 123 overall, the number 9 safety, number 12 player from the state of Alabama, with uncertainty in the back end at the safety, defensive back, that star position role. There was a chance that Mitchell was going to be able to carve out an early role in his career, and that is murky at best. I think his future right now, especially in light of what else has happened for the Alabama Crimson Tide in just the program, in light of the Brandon Miller and everything going on in their situation, is noteworthy. Also, the phrasing from Saban, including, we're going to see what happens, basically, is a little bit different than what he says in the past. So maybe some new policies in place at Alabama. That was speculated by 24/7 Sports. Makes some sense. And some interesting comments from Nick Saban when asked his statement, whatever. Tony Mitchell has been suspended from the team and all team activities until we gather more information about the situation and what his legal circumstance is. This next part of the quote's important. Everybody's got an opportunity to make choices and decisions. There is no such thing as being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You got to be responsible for who you're with, who you're around, what you do, who you associate yourself with, and the situations that you put yourself in. It is what it is, but there is a cause and effect when you make choices and decisions that put you in bad situations. That part of the quote, there's no such thing as being in the wrong place at the wrong time, that sounds like a bit of a shot at Nate Oats / Brandon Miller. Intentional or not, Nick Saban taking a at least slightly different approach from that standpoint. So maybe we're reading too much into it. Totally fine. If you think that's the case, you can vote for us in the comments. I at least want to bring up the possibility of it. Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, Y or N. Let's look now at spring practice officially underway. Spring ball, the A-Day is a couple weeks away now here, bordering on a month, which it's always fun to have spring practice back, right? Means football is getting closer, real football here. Let's hit some of the notable things recently said by Nick Saban after day one. Have a look at the quarterback battle. That's going to be a fascinating one, even if it's maybe expected, likely the favorite, whatever. Jalen Milroe ends up winning this job after a very small sample size last year with the Crimson Tide. Here's what Coach Saban had to say on Jalen Milroe. I think everyone has an opportunity. None of the guys have a significant amount of experience. I think Jalen played one game, half a game where he really had to play a game. He made a lot of plays. He made plays in a different way than Bryce made plays. That is important. You cannot just plug it in the new OC, so of course it'll be different. But if you're plugging in the Bryce Young offense for Jalen Milroe, you're not utilizing Milroe properly. You have to utilize his legs. You have to get him involved on the ground. That's where he is at his most dynamic. It could look a little bit more like the Blake Sims offense to maybe the Jalen Hurts offense to a reasonable extent there. There's also the former 5-star Ty Simpson, 4 of 5, 35 yards. Not actually real playing time for Ty Simpson. Here's what Saban had to say. Ty, who made significant progress throughout the year, never really had much of an opportunity to play in a critical game, is also someone that we think has developed and made a lot of improvement and has a lot of potential to be a pretty good player. I am very curious how Alabama utilizes their quarterbacks throughout the spring, the preseason, etc. Remember, you begin the year against Middle Tennessee. Then you jump to Texas. So you kind of have a not much of a break to figure out what your offense looks like before you play a team that almost beat you last year and might have, if not for some Bryce Young heroics. I think you see both quarterbacks against Middle Tennessee. But who wins the starting quarterback job? Maybe it's announced before week 1. Maybe you do it before the Texas game, whatever. Who wins the starting job? TS for Ty Simpson, JM for Jalen Milroe. Go vote for me in the comment section. You know, I do want to be clear. You're going to miss Bryce Young. When you lose the number 1, 2, 4, whatever pick he ends up being, that's going to be a loss. Now, sometimes you're lucky and you go from a Tua to a Bryce Young or a Hurts to a Tua to a Mac Jones or something, and you get lucky with all these great quarterbacks Bama's produced in recent years. But Bryce Young was special. He was an awesome player. And what you really need to mitigate the loss of Bryce Young is you need your supporting cast to be better. This is not the same Bama offense that just produced first-round receivers every single year. Look at what the Bama's going to have on offense this year. You're going to have a first-round pick in Bryce Young, maybe a first-round pick in Jahmyr Gibbs, maybe probably top 50. Cameron Latu will be drafted. Tyler Steen, Emil Core, maybe one of those guys get drafted. That's it. That is not the normal elite offensive supporting cast. So the new guys coming in, the old guys returning, they have to be better to make life easier on whether it's Simpson or Milroe. I'm going to lean Milroe for now. Make life easier on that new quarterback. Making your life easy with this awesome sale from our friends over at Fanatics. 40% off on some fresh Alabama hoodies. Get yours today. chatsports.com/Bama hoodie. They also got quarter zips, by the way. Tons of different styles, colors, sizes. I like the black and the red. I think they call it the cross stripe. I think it looks pretty damn good. Get yours today. chatsports.com/Bama hoodie. Rep the Crimson Tide today. Some more notes here on the injury side. Not more notes, but new notes on the injury side of things here. Make sure I have the details here. Dallas Turner and Deontay Lawson, a starting outside linebacker, starting inside linebacker, are not going to be participants in spring ball, according to Coach Saban. They should be good for the start of the season stuff that matters, and like Lawson, Turner have played enough, and I think Dallas Turner, by the way, breakout year coming. He's going to go for double-digit sacks. Clip it at me at Freezing Cold Takes if you need to there. Both should be good for the season, but they're not going to be out there for spring practice. Some other players, 5 guys here, Justin, Roydell Williams, Robbie Ouzts, Jamarian Latham, and the defensive back version, Devonta Smith. I will never get tired of that joke. They are going to be limited to at least some extent in spring ball. Maybe they play in the A-Day game coming up April 22nd. Maybe they don't. They should be okay. You know, it's the neck surgery for, I'm probably going to mispronounce the name, Justin Eboigbe. I think I got that really wrong. I'm sorry if so, Justin. My apologies. Other guys should be out there in some capacity, but limited, if you want to go with the NFL-style verbiage of like, they were not full participants at practice. If it was a real game, they could play, but we're going to play it cautiously and give them, DNP on the Wednesday practice, limited on Thursday, Friday, and then, maybe they play in the A-Day game or not. Nothing overly worrisome about any of these guys right now, but they are going to be a bit banged up throughout spring practice, limited. It was surgery, if I didn't mention that, by the way, for Dallas Turner and Deontay Lawson. No concern long-term, but probably won't see those guys be full players during spring ball.